Tonight, from Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, it's a special prime time edition of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals taking on Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars.
It's the NFL on EA Sports, and there you get a look at Paul Brown Stadium on the banks of the Ohio River in Cincinnati. The enthusiasm of this Cincinnati crowd in full effect a moment ago as their Bengals took the field to the delight of this sold-out crowd. And they're all set as they'll match up with the Jacksonville Jaguars. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They're led by the #1 overall pick in the 2021 draft, Trevor Lawrence.
His game last week reminded me of the old song, accentuate the positive, because that's about all he did, right?
Yeah.
3 touchdown passes, over 300 yards in the air, receivers happy.
And they got the win.
Got the win. If you're running back that likes to catch passes, they're happy as well. Big-time game.
They'll run it. This is James Robinson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
And incomplete. Now, this defense for the Bengals, they were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball? Or maybe just...
The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. DJ Reader. He's the culprit, causes a loss of 5, and it brings up 4th down. Getting into the act on the opening drive here with a sack. And remember, they had 5 last week.
And they saw that on film, and that meant that they had to get together. Offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach, offensive line coach, receivers coach, and say, how do we beat this pressure? Because everyone has to win against the defense and get the ball out of the hands of the quarterback very quickly.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. So holding there on the return, and that'll back him up to start the next drive.
Yeah, that's a pretty easy call right there, partner. I think when the officials look in their manual and see the expression, jersey getting pulled, that's a flag coming out every time.
It's Mixon on the counter. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say, 200 plus?
Miles Jack there to make the tackle. Now a second down and 6. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. And after his performance last week, everybody saw it. Unbelievable. You can expect a heavy dose of him again, I think.
Without a doubt. I mean, why wouldn't you? Because once you establish yourself that way, it's not just him, okay? It's his offensive line, it's the tight end, it's your wide receivers, everyone now sharing in the load and sharing in the belief that they do their job, they'll see another performance just like they saw the week before.
Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage, but every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, that allows you to fool the defense so often. And in this case, fooled them with the inside run.
From the red zone now, here's Burrow, first down. He gets this one to Boyd. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after.
And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. Joe Mixon taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Bengals are going to take the first quarter lead.
Well, first quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the second time here in this game as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing completion on first down, then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback on the expected passing situation.
And he's going to come up a bit short. He needed to get to the 35 for the first, but he only makes it to the 34. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be 4th down. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. A 39-yard punt, a return of 5, and the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10.
Joe Mixon and the Bengal offense ready to go back to work.
And you see his numbers from a week ago. He was up over 100 yards then, and he's already hit pay dirt here once in this one.
We always talk about quarterbacks and receivers getting into rhythm, right? Really feeling good, finding each other downfield. I think running backs operate the same way. They can hit a good rhythm and a good stride, and he's carrying it over from last week.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Here's Burrow. Out to the left, he's got Sample there. He'll go down as a gain of 6, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up.
And he's got a Bengals first down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line.
Now Joe Mixon. Mixon with a first down and more. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score.
Joe Mixon
with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter.
And the Bengals lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure you just hold in there. Survive the early storm, relax a little bit, and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And it's now 14-0.
So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now.
They'll run for the first time with Travis Etienne.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. On 2nd and 11 now. Lawrence. He's got his big tight end. That's Hurst. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Now this is Etienne on the draw.
And he's going to be stopped short of a first down as they'll get to him at about the 33. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. Here's A.J. Cole now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. On the return is Williams.
A nice punt, but a good run back as well, 13 yards.
The Bengals drive about to get going. Now right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
And he almost made it, but just short. Finally out of bounds, right down around the goal line.
171 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Not sure exactly what he saw that made him decide to hand it off, but a great decision and a fantastic run.
From our vantage point, what he saw was a defense that got out.
And he'll take this into the end zone for Bengal TD.
Joe Mixon
on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns.
And the Bengals are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. So what a first half that he has had running the football. That now 3 touchdown runs.
And I would anticipate that when they get down in the red zone, he's going to get more chances as this game goes on. And I think that the guys blocking for him are going to ask for him to get more chances. They like the rhythm they've developed.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. The Jaguars again ready to take over on offense.
And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
On 3rd down, Lawrence.
And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Trey Hendrickson drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long. Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Here's Williams to return. It's a 45-yard punt, but a decent return there of 9 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Cincinnati set to take over once again. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
2nd down and 7.
They run the counter. Mixon, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Open man is Uzomah. And he is going to have a Bengals 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Nixon with a 1st down and more. And finally down at the 36-yard line. 189 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now it's Burrow. This one hauled in by Sample. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Joe Mixon on his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Bengals are able to add on to their first-half lead. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Jags football again. DJ Chark ready to rock and roll.
You better believe that he's well aware he has 0 catches right now, and they're losing, so he's probably a little hungry.
And you know the guys on defense are aware as well. And they're really...
The pressure gets to Lawrence, and he'll go down.
The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Another try after the first down sack. Lawrence, that's the tight end Hurst with it. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. On 3rd down, Robinson. And they will bottle him up behind the line, and now will they use a timeout? The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. So a change of possession here on the punt, and the Bengals will take over in terrific field position.
The Bengal offense going to see the ball one more time in this first half. And we'll see how aggressive they want to be in these final stages before the half.
Mixon with a first down carry. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10. A very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. He will find his man Chase complete.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. So we've come to halftime after a very... We now proceed to the start of the second half. The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3.
And this will not be returned, so the second half begins with a touchback.
Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. And he's already gone over 200 yards on the ground as we get a look at some of his solid work.
And the guys I know, they think about 100 yards each and every game. That's the confidence factor. That's the level they think they should be getting to. Rarely do they admit to saying, I'm going to go for 200 or more in a game. That's what we're seeing right here. What a combination of great runs, vision, power, terrific blocking. It's all come together in this one.
And nearly impossible to stop. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
Mixon with a first down and more. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
After the penalty, it's Mixon. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down.
228 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. This is Mixon. And he's got some space here. And he is out of bounds inside the 35.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
They'll run on first down. Mixon, and for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. They run the counter. Mixon. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on 2nd and long, but it worked out for them.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you catch the defense just right and break off a big run to help yourself out on the next down.
It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down. On first down, Mixon. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Burrow will throw. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. Drew Sample, his 4th touchdown on the year.
And the Bengals take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And that will extend this big lead.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Throwing again on second down. Lawrence. They're trying to find Chark, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for a Bengals TD.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
McPherson on for the point after. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Jacksonville set to go again offensively. And fresh off the pick 6. They've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line.
Well, they certainly haven't been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
Yeah, he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. To throw again on second down. Lawrence. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Sam Hubbard. Give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards. One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Jaguars on third down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Sam Hubbard able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening. Here's A.J. Cole now as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And this is a beauty as that ball is going to angle out at the 6-yard line. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Once again, they run with Mixon. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds.
The carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out. Well, partner, nothing but praise from me for this offense. They have been tremendous all night long. They knew what they had to do to unlock the defense. And let's face it, this has been a master class in offensive football that we've been here to witness.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Again, it's Mixon. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. On 3rd down, Mixon. And he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks.
And he'll take this into the end zone from Bengal TD. Joe Mixon, a 12-yard touchdown run. And the Bengals look poised to reach 17-0 as they add on to their lead. Even though they've got this big advantage, Charles, they are not taking their foot off the gas pedal right now.
Well, I think what we're seeing is the result of all their great preparation and great practice time during the week. And even though it seems like this is a great chance to pull people back and maybe, not try and score a few more times, they don't want to do that. I think they're enjoying what they're seeing, the collective effort, and they want to play it all the way out.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here.
We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter.
Lawrence's throw here on target to Hurst. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
Only needing 2 yards on 2nd down. Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. He'll find Etienne out of the backfield.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Throwing now, Lawrence on 1st down. They'll try and set up the screen to Etienne.
And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score.
Again, it's Lawrence.
And that's incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Chidobe with a pick. And the Bengals are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. Back to Mixon on second down. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now third down. On third down, Mixon with a first down and more. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory. But
the Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Throwing on second and long. Lawrence toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Lawrence will throw. He's going to let it fly.
And it's a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete.
They'll probably spend a little extra time dissecting the game film after this one. I think the part of their plan was to hit them over the top of the deep ball. They've been unsuccessful all night.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
Cincinnati's offense coming back here onto the field. And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4.
They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And he's got room. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. 3 yards the gain there, second down.
So, Charles, you look at this offense, and really on paper at least, a great situation for them upcoming. They're unbeaten on the year, an open week coming up after this. So I guess my question, any worry that maybe this is coming at the wrong time?
Oh, definitely I would be worried about this game, maybe more than any other on this schedule, because I know my guys are looking ahead to that open week. I've got to keep them focused on the task ahead, make sure they take care of business in this one. Otherwise, you're talking about a double trap. The trap of losing the game and then having the open week and having to stew about it.
He'll find his running back, Joe Mixon. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. And one of the whistles for a timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. Good yardage on first down. Now can they punch it in on second and goal? That one looks like he'll throw here. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, business as usual for them, well on their way to another victory, riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead will swell by one more. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. A final shot now for Lawrence. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one, and that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for Cincinnati, they finish off a perfect regular season, 17-0. And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title.